There's just a quick fun one. Label it Mandela Effect, call it whatever you want. The script of whatever this world is, and I'm not talking like political. That's a laughing stock in itself. But I just mean in daily life, it's getting ridiculous. I was always really into music. I made that little video, kind of asking for help and sent it out, and I've gotten a lot of support from people, wanting to do what they can and at least sharing it, and I appreciate that from everybody. Um, but I've always loved music. When I was in high school, I wrote like books. When I was in high school, I wrote binders full of lyrics to different songs, and I could sing every one of them and remember the tune to them if someone put the page in front of me. Um, and I mention that because it was my dream to go to Full Sail University. They're a production college in Florida. They do anything from computer gaming to graphic art design, like for albums or the game box, to music business, film, that sort of thing, entertainment stuff. And I could not figure out how to pay for it. It was way too expensive from someone that didn't have a craft and didn't come from money and didn't have a career to be able to pay for it. It just at 18 years old, I had no idea how to come up with, tens of thousands of dollars. So I kind of set it aside. Life happened, got married, had a baby, and just kind of gave up on it and was like, well, I'm going to work in the plants. And then years later, with technology, they start making these online programs, and my dad was able to go to Full Sail for film, which that'll come up later in another video. But I was I was reading through my email, and the Los Angeles Film School just randomly sent me an email, and I get this thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, just give me some information. I figured they were gonna email me like a electronic brochure. Well, they start calling, they start asking questions, and try to get me in. Now here's the key, and this is what's about the script. The lady that I speak to, I was very, very involved in trying to get into Full Sail, and when it became impossible for me to figure out how to do it, I just kind of gave up. Right. The lady that I'm speaking to from the university, the Los Angeles Film School, her last name was Costello. Now, I grew up, with my grandfather watching those old black and white movies. Abbott and Costello, The Mummy, Abbott and Costello, Who's on First? Like all of them, every single one of them. And so I kind of made a joke with her about her last name being Costello and working at a film school. She was like, well, what's funny? My sister married someone whose last name was Abbott. And so I'm like laughing at this, and I'm being chipper as we're going through all the questions and stuff. And I'm like, wait. So your sister, let's say her name's Christine. Her name is Christine Abbott Costello. Like, so that was kind of funny to me. And after we get off the phone, I'm doing more paperwork. I'm trying to do what I need to do to make this a reality. And the memory of the person that I spoke with when I could not figure out how to get into a completely different college on the other side of the United States. I had that conversation before, 10 years ago. It may have not been the same person. I'm not getting into all that. Like, the point is that the situation of me speaking to someone whose last name was Costello, and they're working at a school that teaches people how to produce film and music and all that, and that they had a family member who married someone whose last name was Abbott, and that's one of those things that I would call an anchor memory for me because of how much Abbott and Costello was in my life when I was a little kid. It's not something that I'm gonna forget. And I can't figure this one out because it does seem to be like a rerun of the same script. And so I kind of froze up. And I know spiritually we're always monitored, right? I mean, a Father sees everything, but the enemy does the best that it can with these cameras and manifesting through others to keep a close eye on us as well. And again, that'll become more and more apparent for later videos. This one's not about that. But so I stopped. I didn't know what to do, because it was one of those things where I'm trying to read the script and I'm like, where is this going? I've got serious trust issues with everything because of things that I've been through with close family members and loved ones, and someone that I was married to, that they're interacting or were interacting with just impossible things that I didn't think could happen. And so I see this, and I'm looking at the script, and I'm going, what do I do with it? And I didn't do anything. I just kind of froze up. And I don't know. I don't have a point to it. I don't think that's the right answer. Music is a passion of mine, but could it be something being thrown in there because it knew that I would react to it that way when I've been through this before, you know? Not that I think that I need a musical education to do some of the things that I want to do. Yes, it would help, but I don't know, it just kind of tipped me off balance, and I didn't know what to do with it. The point to this, though, is that it's one of those things that's personal. I don't know how you can apply it to your life, but I'm telling you, when I was 18, 19 years old, like, that's not something that I would forget, because at the time I was like sitting in my grandparents' living room on the phone with this person talking about, oh man, I think my grandfather was at work. He's worked his behind off. He's a police officer, worked so many hours. And I was like, man, I wish he was here. At the time, I'm sitting on the couch on the phone, kind of like giggling, like almost childlike, thinking about, wanting to make that connection with my grandfather from 15 years from that time. And then to be sitting here a few weeks ago and having, I'm not going to say the same conversation, but the environment was different. I don't know if it was the same person. I don't care who the other person was on the other end of the phone. You'll never know anyway. But the situation, the whatever that was, it had happened before. It's just repeating itself. And I've seen that on YouTube as well. There's someone that produces videos every week who I am absolutely inspired by. And I need people like that in my life to kind of, there's a heaviness just all around, constant influence of negative thoughts that I would say come from demons, because I'm just like, where did that come from? And I really do appreciate all the fellowship that I have with those that kind of cheer me up. But he had made a video, and it was something biblical, it was about the 4 horsemen. And I get through watching it, and some of the content in it was different, but I'm like, I even commented, I'm like, please tell me, there's certain things that you said in this video that I've heard before, and you made a video on the 4 horsemen before, and I didn't go looking for it because it's just a rabbit hole. I'm not into just going down rabbit holes. But I'm like, I've seen this content before, but this is new. The background is similar. You're not wearing the same clothes. There's added content to it, and it's relevant to the time frame that we're in, because some of it is political. So he's not talking about stuff that happened a year ago, but what I'm saying is the way that the message was delivered, it was the same thing. And I'm not saying that is like he's a script creature. These are just experiences that I've had. I don't know what the point to it is. It's something that I recognize. It continues to happen, and I don't know what it means. So anyway, I'm not gonna keep rambling. I was gonna talk about a bunch of other stuff, but I need to deliver that message properly. Anyway, like I said, I don't know what that is. It's like I keep hitting these waves of the same scenario but they're being delivered in the time frame, the here and now that I'm in, and I don't know, it's just something I was thinking of while kind of meditating on that. Anyway, God bless, and y'all have a good day.